If you're an elite level athlete, you have to watch this video. This is the most underrated tool that players are not using on a regular basis that took me from an average underachieving pro player to a national champion. Let's rock and roll. So we all know elite level training tactics. Those things like showing up to training on time, training really well, getting your nutrition correct, doing mindset work, journaling, meditation, visualization, recovery tactics, sleep. Those are all things that are really important for getting to your next level as an athlete. But there is one thing that building my personal brand actually helped me with that most athletes completely ignored, and this is a really interesting one. So for context, I want to draw a regular schedule for you of what our pro seasons would look like. So here on a blank whiteboard, I'm going to draw 7 days. And we'll start off here with Sunday, Monday, and just for context as well, we're just going to split the day in half just to show you guys what an AM versus PM. So everything below the line is PM. We'll do AM here and PM there. All right, so just to start with a game. So our games usually happened in the evening on a Saturday. So that was match day. We had rest day all of Sunday. Monday would be a recovery in the AM. Tuesday, train in the AM. Wednesday, train in the AM. Thursday, train in the AM. And Friday, train, film. And then we'd usually also have some film stuff here on Monday as well. Occasionally, we'd also have a lift, maybe here on Wednesday as well. Those two things were interchangeable. So as you can see, pretty full schedule, obviously dependent on travel and things like that, or if we had a cup game in the midweek, that would change the schedule. But this just gives you a general idea of what our training schedule is like. And for many of you who play at the elite club level or the academy level or even the collegiate level, this will look very similar. College, a little bit different, obviously, in America, just because you play so many games in a particular week, but you get the idea anyway. So as we look at this schedule, what we see here is we see lots of training, obviously a good match here. So we're getting lots of technical stuff. We're getting a little bit of tactical here, little bit of tactical here. We're getting some strength work with the lifting. And of course, there's recovery and things that happen after the session that I do at home, go to the stretching zone in the gym or other things like that. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. In the afternoons, as you can see, I basically had the entire week to do whatever I wanted. And because I was releasing a video here on YouTube through my personal brand and a video here, what I would do is I would go to the pitch and I would film myself. And the crazy part about this is I started filming once, twice, maybe even 3 times a week, depending on how I was feeling that particular week. And what that film did was each clip that I went through a particular drill, because my personal brand was based around what I was doing at the time, playing football, all those reps I was watching over and over and over again, making micro improvements over the course of an entire week. So if I'm filming on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, not only is that watching film, I'm also editing it, which is more time watching that film, and it's an extra training session because each one of these had a training session involved in it. It might not have been at the same match intensity, but I really wanted to make the technique really good and obviously the shots or the crosses or footwork or whatever I was doing look really good on camera. So I was really focused on technique, even if it wasn't at 100%. And each one of these moments of filming myself became another film session like we would do with our team. And as we know, the brain can't distinguish between visualizing some type of movement in your head versus actually physically doing the thing on pitch. This is the case with all different types of sports and technique. If you visualize yourself doing it perfectly, it's going to be a lot better for you, whether you're injured or just training on any given day, to get that particular image implanted in your brain. And so it's almost this immediate brain-body connection becomes very natural, and you make that technique work in a match or a high pressure situation. Having more filming days meant that I was learning way quicker and way faster than a lot of my teammates. So to describe this, I'm going to show you what visually that looks like. So if we have a graph here, this is time and this is skill or talent, which I know aren't really great descriptors of this particular thing, but you get the idea. They're your total points on a FIFA card, if you will. So whatever that score is. Now, lots of players would be something like this. Maybe another player is something like this. Maybe another player, starts here, spikes, and then kind of dips off. Lots of different types of movement, but it's pretty linear. So roughly what we see is improvement kind of goes like that over time. It's really good. Maybe sometimes you have little spikes here and there, but you get the idea. Now, me on the other hand, I was probably kind of started in a low area. Sure, I had lots of athletic ability, but generally speaking, I was here, maybe made like a spike in college. And then when I started going pro and started filming myself, I started doing that. And the crazy part about this graph and kind of visualizing it like this is you can see this trajectory ends a lot higher when we retire compared to a lot of these players. And I'm not one for comparison. I actually don't even care where my teammates ended up because we ended up winning a national title anyway, so it doesn't matter. The point is that I was making really small improvements compared to what my trajectory, had I not started a personal brand, might have been if I didn't do that extra filming and get that extra gap. Because as time moves on and I was able to find a groove with that filming schedule, the editing, I'm watching so much footage, well over 10,000 clips. And so as I'm starting to do that, and as I'm getting way into those sort of 10,000 hours, if you will, 10,000 clips, I'm having mastery over not only how good I am at visualizing things, because now I've seen it so many more times than my competitor or my teammate has, but I'm also able to implement it on a daily basis 3 to 4 more times than any of my teammates, because I'm going and doing extra sessions in front of camera. So if you are not going to post online, honestly, I don't really care that much. It's for some people, it's not for others. I love building a personal brand online, so that's something that I really found valuable to me, and obviously it gave me incredible opportunities. But if you're not that way, I would still recommend film yourself doing every individual session you possibly can. Watch over your game footage, watch over your training footage, because it will make you a better player. And this is relevant to all different sports, not just football. I'm just using it as an example because it's my thing. But if you can get filming your sessions and you can watch it, edit it down, maybe throw it on a, I don't know, like a not a spam Instagram account, but an Instagram account that you don't really care about, or a TikTok that you don't really care about. Just get it out into the world, or put it in a folder so you have all this training footage so that you can go back and actually look at the improvement. If I go back in my early videos and I watch myself play, I'm like, oh, like that's not so good. But then if I fast forward 3 years after having trained and watched so many footage, I'm like, hey, look at that improvement. Look how much better that talent is. Look how much better that technique is. And that's what we want to see in terms of improvement. So if you want elite level improvement and you want your improvement to spike exponentially, start filming yourself and watching yourself during your training sessions. Stay dangerous, y'all. See you in the next one.